Alright everyone, welcome to yet another game in the Buddyhood Brawl League Season 3. We're here for Quist taking on Ragnarokus. Both of them have crashed the wheel, it's Walk in the Fog. And we're gonna see how this turns out for these players. It's going to be important for both of them to try and get a since they are having had some slight trouble so far in the league. And there we go, they just deployed. So Quist has, well, let's start with Ragnarokus here. This is the third game that these two players are playing. Ragnarokus had this surprising win against Bobby Boyd Freed. We have that recorded if you will bother to look it up. And you can see Ragnarokus' defeat against Nanashi if you turn into Ragnarokus' YouTube channel. Quist, on the other hand, has had a really rough patch so far. He has lost 4-0 to Nanashi and 2-0 to Hole Poker, making him the only player in the entire league that has not scored a single kill so far. Hoping that's going to be turned around here. Downdead is a good warband, especially early on. So hopefully he can do something about this. And it's playing against the Skaven, who are usually a little bit weak on this, the psychology side. I wonder why we're seeing a ghoul here that's level 0. I have no idea why. Maybe it's just a single point or something like that. Close to getting up to level 1. We've seen Scott before, the Dreg Archer of Quist. For Ragnarokus' team, who is playing as a Skaven, it's probably a wise decision to go inside these buildings and gather up his team. And Quist is going towards the bottom part of that. Maybe we can have a fight in or near those buildings in the courtyard there. I think that let's see here. I think Quist has a melee advantage compared to Ragnarokus, but we haven't been following Ragnarokus' last game, so we will see what he is bringing here. Remember that Ragnarokus might be a slightly favored in this game, and I say that based purely on the fact that Ragnarokus, with his one win so far, managed to get an extra PvE, so he has one more game played, and that matters quite a bit here early on in the league. Quist, who is picking up his idol, gonna see if he's gonna deposit that somewhere or if he is going to carrying it and risking it all on the leader. No one is being seen yet. The thing with carrying the idol, as you are probably well aware of by now, is that if that character dies, you're losing 60 morale straight away. Even if you're picking it up right after, for a moment there you will have a lower morale, and if that brings you below the threshold, you're going to take a route test, and that's going to put you at immense risk. Also consider the fact that the leader is the one who gives out the most morale, so killing that vampire is going to Yeah, it's actually gonna force a route test on Quist, and he's probably not going to make that with the Dreg, who has the lowest leadership in the game. We do see some of the units here of Ragnarokus, in fact the two ranged units of Ragnarokus, that's why I said that Quist has a melee advantage. We have a ranged Night Runner and a ranged Verminkin for Ragnarokus, and only a ranged Dreg for Quist. So for Ragnarokus here, it's going to be paramount to try and get a few shots off and hurt Quist as he's trying to approach. And for Quist to try to get as close as possible without taking any damage. Ragnarokus playing as his favorite warband, the one that he has done best with so far to my understanding. You can see that he has not picked up his idol. It's still firmly rooted in his wagon. And I think that's a good choice, to be honest, because he is at the very least approaching towards where Quist is, meaning that there will be a fight here in the middle, and then Quist will be way too far away from the wagon to actually go and pick it up. And that's generally what you want to do. We have seen some games here so far where you do not pick up the idol and then you move away in a completely different direction. For example, we saw that with Paranoia's game, the last game here, when he picked up the... Well, he didn't pick up the idol and then went in a roundabout way around the map so that, by the way, Rand could pick up his idol. And that was very unfortunate for him. A game that could be worth watching. But here we are in Qualifer League 2, and generally by the players themselves it seems that the Qualifer League 2 is something about the middle league here. Qualifer League 1 is deemed as the easiest league, while Qualifer League 3 is deemed as the toughest league, or the death group as it has been named. And right in the smackdown middle of that you have Qualifer League 2, where there's still going to be some fierce competition for the upper division spots here. And as we said in the last game when we did cast Quist here, we did expect Quist to be able to take one of those spots, but with the two opening losses here has turned some doubts on that. We'll see if he can recover. That's why this game is so important for Quist. He really needs to beat out Ragnarokus, who's already gotten a few points to his name, and is looking himself to advance to the upper division. Ragnarokus has not failed to make the playoffs in any of the 2 seasons so far, although he was a bit lucky to get into the playoffs in the Bodyhood Brawl League Season 2. As he got the 16th and last spot going to the playoffs there. He's looking to get to the playoffs here again. I think that's probably the main objective of Ragnarokus, to be getting to the playoffs and hopefully getting a better position in the playoffs. Wow, we see a trap going off here and Quist picks that up, you can see that. So he knows someone just stepped over there and that they're really close to his position, and that's good for him. He wants Ragnarokus to advance towards him. That's really good. Setting off another trap here. You can see the general direction where Ragnarokus is moving his units. Going to see, is it by any chance the Night Runner and the Vermikin that has moved down that far? Maybe Sheila here will try and explore a little bit, see what he can find. The ghouls have this neat little ability, the passive ability called Disease Carrier. So whenever you do hit an opponent for 3 turns, they get a debuff. Either -5 initiative, which could play an important factor here. If you look at the initiative ladder, it's all about, like for instance, if these 39 ghouls, who are probably two-handed, manage to hit one of these 44s, they will get down to 39 as well, and then they might get 2 attacks off in a row here, since they could go above them in the initiative ladder. The other 2 debuffs are -3 dodge and parry, and -3% critical hit resistance, which could also be quite useful. You don't have too much in the way of critical hit chance right now. Look at Sheila here, she has, or he has 8% critical hit chance. But also look at the character itself. Sheila here also has only critical hit resistance of 3%, meaning that there will be a 5% chance of each hit if that ghoul started hitting herself to score a critical hit. And critical hits are massive early on. Well, they are always going to be massive, but as soon as someone is stunned, they are most likely going to die. Needs to go out here and edge closer, taking cover in one of the buildings. You don't see these 2 units having moved yet, so they're probably all, they haven't gotten a chance to move, but they're probably just in Overwatch. Getting closer here, ever so slightly. See one of the warp guards see the assassin leader as well. And you can take a note here that yeah, I don't know where I was going about that. Gonna take a note where exactly these units are, but we haven't really had them revealed on the minimap by Quist. You can hover around on the minimap to see where their actual locations are. I'm gonna see, I mean, that assassin was probably the one that set off one of the traps. Might he be able to shoot someone here? He should have a greater range than the opposing units. And maybe if he can even get up here on the ramparts. But he doesn't seem to have enough movement to be able to get up there without taking damage himself. Playing cautious here. Setting up an Overwatch. He needs to advance a little bit more with the ghouls. He can't just stay here. It's trying to avoid the trap, but I'm not sure that Ragnarokus will fall for this. Will he actually advance on these buildings? He should probably advance a little bit further. Like if you go forward here a little bit and then into the right there, you could get a bit closer to where you want to go, or just under this little ramp would also be a good choice to be in. He needs to protect the Overwatch and drag here. And this guy, Ash, can he somehow deposit the idol or put it somewhere? Because if he dies, it's going to be goodbye for Quist, and that's a big risk to have around. And he's only going to be taking the route just because he carries the idol. So he needs to get that out of the way somehow, or keep this guy very safe. Hopefully these two players get to unlock some units after this. Depends on how they have been doing so far. This Night Runner managed to get into position. You can see that he's not risking to be hit by the ambush here because it ended right in front of the trap, and the Night Runner is on the other side of that. So doing a little bit of skirmishing here. I don't see the Warp Guard really being close. Maybe you should just go out and attack that Night Runner. Should be able to get to him. It took him quite a bit of time, quite a bit of movement to get to that position, so he couldn't have moved too far away. Sadly, Quist is not really checking that on the minimap right now. Okay, we do see the assassin leader where he is. Right around there. And the Night Runner. Gonna see the Verminkin perform the same kind of skirmishing thing here. Unless it climbs up in that little gatehouse. I wonder if it's Quist here who has failed to capture one of the objectives. Could definitely be. Oh, this is could be a good charging opportunity. Should at least check to see if it's in ambush. At least be able to tie him down. Time is running out. Okay, yeah, he can't charge because he doesn't have any blue pills. So you will just have to do an ambush right here. I mean, what else can you do? Either you do an ambush or you... Yeah. So you can't charge. It's very strange. She's looking for that, but... the terrain is so uneven that it's not going to give him the option. Going to be very cautious from both of these players, but at least Ragnarokus has drawn a little bit of a first blood with those two shots from the Night Runner. And Quist has managed to hem himself in here. Letting some of the other warp cards go first, they're probably going to reinforce the sort of contain here that Quist has gotten into by Ragnarokus forces. It's good to have this kind of skirmishing going on and firing into Quist and trying to provoke him to go outside to be swarmed by the Skaven here. But he needs to be careful about how close he's getting, and that he is always having two overlapping waves of defense for these characters, so he doesn't end up with the Night Runner being killed once more. This is, after all, the second undead warband that Ragnarokus takes on, and he should know what to do, hopefully. Seems to be able to get some kind of skirmish opportunity as well. 8% chance for critical hits. That's pretty decent. He can't use the reload here. He should really move back behind the goal. Otherwise, if he stands there and reloads, he will be blocking the ambush as well. This guy could potentially reach someone. Yeah, you can actually probably just walk right into that rat here. Yeah, he can. And he was in ambush. There was a poor ambush. And this is what I mean when I'm saying that they're doing poor ambushes all the time. That they're putting themselves just behind some kind of cover, but they're always forgetting that the character area is around them, and you can just run into that. So you always need to be careful. We do see some warp guards over there, being ready for just such an attack. He's realizing here that he has blocked in his vampire that's preventing two of the ghouls to getting out. Yeah, could just attack into this warp guard. Might be able to finish him off. Okay, why do that? Why do that? Now you can't move. You could have moved in and done 2 attacks. I don't get that. You know, the regular death stench is only minus 5% melee resistance. It's not going to be that impactful. Gonna see another delay. I can set it up here for this. Yeah. Don't block off. Okay, he's going to block it off. So then the ambush on the vampire will probably not be very useful if he's blocking it. Yeah, this ghoul is definitely going to be shot at by the Night Runner and probably the Vermicene as well. They can just move forward a little bit and shoot right into that gap. And it's going to be a good target to shoot at too. He's easy to hit because he's not in melee. He doesn't have a shield, and that's pretty much it.
A new round has started.
Oh wow, yeah. I think it's a good tactic by Ragnarokus to try and focus on the vampire. Because the fear or the terror tests are gonna do a lot of damage to Ragnarokus once he starts moving in with that, getting units that are completely unusable. However, no, it's just a good tactic overall. I think it's a good tactic overall. See what they can do. Failing the poison resistance check here, so it's gonna take some weapon poison damage. Once more. Because as we said earlier, and we kept saying that throughout the game, I'm gonna repeat it one last time. If the vampire dies with the idol on him, that's gonna be a massive morale penalty to Quist, and he's gonna most likely rout from that. And Ragnarokus should know about this. He should definitely know about this. Alright, what can you do? Well, you do have the assassin leader. If you can charge in on him, do a bit more damage with the charge. Manages a miss. And a dodge. At the very least, this is an all alone check. Being provoked. And there we go, the first kill going down straight to Ragnarokus, taking the lead. And you can see that he uses charge here and he's doing more damage by doing that. Also denying the all alone. I don't know why he's switching, but that's going to be plus 10 initiative for that guy. And he shouldn't really use an ambush that close to the vampire, because the vampire can just nudge himself a little bit forward, be in melee without triggering the ambush. Yeah, good idea. Good idea by Ragnarokus, trying to go around here, since Quist is clearly committing a lot of units here to the front lines. See if he can manage to hit this. Yeah, you get one attack either way, so what else are you going to attack then? I don't like that. I don't like that. Like, he's just taking damage. He's not using the red pills. He needs to do the damage here, Quist. He needs to... Yeah, it's... Oh, and then he misses. Well, nothing he can do about that, but still. Hopefully he can get someone else in there, like this ghoul maybe. The hurt ghoul. Could get into that warp garden producing an all alone check. You can also find the... Alright, so he's triggering the ambush. The ambush didn't need it to be triggered. And finally, Quist figuring out and getting his first kill off the league. Glad to have that over with. And that's equalizing the score here, 1-1. But Linda might be going down pretty soon. See if he can manage to go in on the leader here and do a lot of damage. Managing the terror test, that means he's going to be immune for his turn, if he's going to live that long. And he is really not going to live that long. That stun is going to secure a dead leader. And Quist taking the lead, 2-1. And that means that he's only 2 morale left now. And that means that that crit won you the game. Well, I mean... Yeah, he could have missed with a 76% chance on the second attack, but... Maybe Quist has missed enough already. Should probably walk in here. Yeah, that's a good choice. Keeping the vampire safe, producing another terror check, which is succeeded, but it's going to be another alone check as well. So only 2 morale left for Ragnarokus. Yeah, indeed, that's exactly what we said right now. Scoring a critical hit himself. Gonna see how valuable that's gonna be. It's probably going to be very valuable, because that's gonna lead to a kill by the upcoming Night Runner here. I like this thing, switching to Fighting Claws right now to make sure that it can be useful in the next turn with 2 attacks. And that's probably a mistake. He was not meant to hit that unit, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was going to finish off that ghoul. Definitely was going to finish off that ghoul. Good dodge chance. Oh well, good dodge roll by Ragnarokus. And he needs that. He needs that to sort of keep this game alive here. Gonna be 2 more warp guards that can do something. Yeah, it's already too crowded. Should do a charge, honestly. Managing a disease carrier is that going to remove the initiative, and will that be a factor? Failing the all alone check. Oh wow, and he's going to flee. He's going to flee. He's going to take more damage here. 44. Pretty hurtful. Everything is turning against Ragnarokus right now, and Quist looks set to get that first win that he so desperately needs. And another all alone check failed by Ragnarokus. Even Linda here is coming up with just one wound left remaining. Can't really do anything, but he can definitely run away to make sure that this kill is not scored. It's gonna be chased here by someone. Could follow through, chase after that warp guard. Remember that the Night Runner, who is the remaining hero here for Ragnarokus, does not have that great of a leadership stat. I think it's 3 leadership that they start with, and we'll see if Ragnarokus has invested any more leadership into that, but probably not, meaning that it will be 12% chance of succeeding at a route test, since the assassin is now dead. I seems to be a little bit lost here. Yeah. You don't have the luxury of too much movement with the drag. He's the slowest hero in the game. This guy though, this guy needs to get in there somewhere. He needs to get in somewhere while trying to be relatively safe. Can he reach? Yeah, he can reach that warp guard. And succeeds at the reserve test once more. And actually manages to avoid that. So since he succeeded on the terror test, this is one of the disadvantages with undead, that you do think all the time that terror is going to be your friend, but if you're moving into someone, they get a terror test, and if they succeed, they don't have to take a terror test on their turn. They're gonna have to wait for a full turn again. So terror is at its most powerful when someone is moving into you, not when you're moving into someone else. Yeah, he probably wants to... He doesn't want to charge. You don't want to charge. You want to do 2 attacks this round. Just want to move in, do an attack and kill that ghoul. And he's doing just that. So 2-2 the scoreline. But it's still quite a bit until Quist routes here. Managing a big blow to Sheila. She cannot take much more punishment. Yeah, even if Sheila goes down, it's not going to provoke the route test just yet. So it's still very much in the favor of Quist right now. Should probably get Karond. It's a good choice. Might see a kill here. Yes, and we do. Quist taking the lead here, and that's going to be a route test coming up for Ragnarokus. Let's see if he makes that. 12% chance, probably. 12% indeed. And he fails that. Congratulations to Quist for his first victory here, and too bad for Ragnarokus. Hope you enjoyed watching this game, and we will see you in more games to come. Thank you for watching.